Are you thinking of buying a property in the Cottonwood area and would prefer not to live in an HOA? Well, Cottonwood, Arizona has an area called the Verde Villages, and they are a property owner association, voluntary property owner association, which basically means there's no HOA and the restrictions, CCNRs, are already established and enforced by the county and or the city, not a homeowners association. Today, I'm going to talk about the Verde Villages as well as take you on a tour through several of the communities. Many of the areas in the Verde Village are custom homes. However, I think it would be really fun to share some history about the Verde Villages. So let me just share with you that they were developed in the 1970s. Really, the focus was for a retirement community. And so they developed 8 units, areas, and the community has 4,500 lots that were built between Cottonwood and the Verde River. And it's somewhat sparsely populated in certain areas, meaning bigger lots, less people. Those would be the custom homes. And then more densely populated areas with smaller homes. And to be honest, most of those homes are manufactured homes. It's what they call a densely populated, retirement-focused, census-designated place. Never heard of that before, so I've learned something new today as well. Okay, so just some historical things to know about the Verde Villages, all 8 units, which if you are driving on the 260 heading towards 17, the freeway, 17, interstate, I guess, once you passed Walmart and you're going past Rio del Vista, on the right-hand side, that would be where the Verde Villages start. And there's a sign that says Verde Village Unit X. And then you continue to drive out of town, and almost that whole area would be considered the Verde Villages. So again, properties started being built in the 1970s. It's about 800 acres total. They were running into some issues initially, and there still were issues with the infrastructure, which is why there's a property owner association, just to maintain the community as best they can. It also is what is now today in 2026 considered a bedroom community of about 12,000 residents here in the Cottonwood area, and about 2/3 of the people who live there are retired. There are children, obviously, as well. So again, it is a really historical area. There's a lot of interesting information that comes with the area just historically. And then, okay, so the Verde Villages were developed in 1970s, and then the city of Cottonwood was incorporated in 1960. So the Verde Villages came after Cottonwood, and they are an unincorporated residential area in Yavapai County. So they are not considered incorporated into the city of Cottonwood. So they are a little bit like a separate area, but their zip code and mailing address is Cottonwood, not Verde Village. There are a large number of custom homes throughout the Verde Village units, and there are 3 areas that are very specifically designated for manufactured homes out of all those 8 units. So most of the area is single-family homes, everything from smaller, say 1,200 square foot homes, all the way up to very large homes on 2-acre lots. There is a school located within the Verde Villages. There are various parks here and there. One thing that really drew people into the area, and I have really enjoyed over the years, is the Del Rio Pond. And it's been lovely. There's a pond there, and there's ducks and there's fish, and there's a walking path around it and a place to park and benches and things like that. However, the unfortunate news is due to water conservation, sure, I can talk. In 2023, it decided that ditch water was mandated to be phased out of being used in decorative ponds. And so by February 1st of 2028, the Verde Villages can no longer pay for ditch water to be used to fill the pond. And due to expenses and the fact that the property owner association is voluntary, they just don't have the funds to continue to maintain the pond without that special discounted unpotable water. So what they are thinking about doing is possibly filling the pond. Obviously, it's going to take a number of different agencies to make sure this happens properly, because they're going to have to empty the pond, take care of the fish that are in the pond, somehow replace the displaced animals, birds, ducks, that type of thing. And then they're going to have to carefully fill the pond and then make it into a park area. So it's a lot of steps and a lot of expense. And to be honest, because the property owner association fee is super low, it's like $35 a year, and it's voluntary, even though there are a large number of homes, most people don't participate in the property owner association. And the small amount that they pay is not enough to really afford the expenses to make the pond into a beautiful park, even though that's something that the residents of the community really think would be great. So it may be something that the property owner board may be looking at getting some special funding and that type of thing to allow them to convert that pond sometime by February of 2028, it's going to be empty, into a beautiful park for the Verde Villages. And that is a sad thing, but I understand with water conservation, we need to do that. It is a very unique part of Cottonwood because it's not incorporated into the city of Cottonwood. So it is sort of a separate entity. And when you're driving into Cottonwood from Camp Verde, you drive right through the area. And I will say that one of the things that I also love about the area is it has some of the most gorgeous views of the Mingus Mountain Range and the Red Rocks. So if you are looking for a property that has no HOA, may have amazing mountain views, and often are custom homes ranging from, like I said, smaller homes up to large homes, this would be maybe a great area to consider. If you are interested in buying in the Cottonwood area, I encourage you to click the link below to get more information about buying in the Cottonwood area, buying in Arizona. I have buyer links below, and I am here to be your local resource about Cottonwood, Arizona, and the Verde Valley, including Sedona.